and we engage them. We try to share their thoughts, their view the very first time. And of course, today is not going to be any different. My co-presenter is also here with me. My name is Tola Teriba.
All right, Tola, thank you very much. I would like to say good afternoon to everyone out there. It's another edition of Guest of the Month, and of course, the November episode. My name is Ajeniyi Ajewole, and we'll be hosting you together today. So stay tuned as we continue and we unveil our guests for today.
Well, like I said, I'm a guest of the month, where we engage eminent citizens, eminent Nigerians, people who have made their mark in diverse fields of endeavor. And today, it's not going to be any different. We are bringing you the leader of a very formidable and very powerful organization, a socio-cultural organization, an organization of good people, eminent people, one of the most prominent socio-cultural groups.
And not just that, when we talk about the society, when we talk about a mega city, when we talk about a traditional community that has values, strong tradition that cannot be eroded by whatever westernization, we'll talk about this particular group. And I guess for today, I may also say that is a very prominent leader, is an expert, a professional too.
A legal practitioner.
Yes.
Legal practitioner. And like Jadi said, if you have been following that formidable poet, that popular poet, J.P. Clark, he described a certain city with these words. He said, like broken china in the sun, when he was trying to describe the sprawling city as seen from an aerial view. But we'll now go over to our studios, a proper introduction of the guest, and when we come back, we will now do our own introduction.
Barrister Chief Sulaiman Ajeniyi Ajewole, the President General CCII, and the Bar Mufin of Iresaland, and the new Are Atsunlushe of Ibadan, is an esteemed personality who can be described as an achiever and epitome of success since the beginning of his life. He was born on 16th March 1956 to the noble, well-respected and kingly Ajewole family of Alushekere Compound, Kokoyemoja area of Ibadan Southwest local government. Ajeniyi Ajewole attended St. John Primary School, Molete, Ibadan, for his primary education, Adelagu Memorial Grammar School. He proceeded to Muslim Teachers Training College, Surulere, Lagos, and Oyo State College of Education, Ilaorangu, having taught for a while and given his insatiable lust for education, he proceeded to the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, to study law and bagged Bachelor of Laws and Nigerian Law School, Victoria Island, to obtain Barrister at Law, Obafemi Awolowo University, for his Master of Laws. As a student, and with the love he has for Ibadan land, he was the national president of the Federation of Ibadan Students Union, FIPSU, between 1987 and 1989, during which he achieved good success. As a lover of Ibadan land, he initiated the completion of the Iba Oluyole Statute at the popular Bere roundabout. Barrister Sulaiman Ajeniyi Ajewole has been very active in social and political activities in Ibadan land and beyond, culminating in his occupying the following positions: member and former president of one of the foremost and prestigious clubs in Ibadan land, that is the Oluyole Social Elite Club, and won many awards. In his quest to deliberately contribute to the development and progress of Ibadan, he contested and won the prestigious post of the President General, Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, with unprecedented achievements, which include spectacular breaking of jinx to complete the long-abandoned permanent Olubadan Palace in Okearemo, Ibadan, maintenance of peace and harmony Among the Olubadan in council, high chiefs, senior chiefs, mogajis, baales, and other traditional and honorary chieftaincy title holders. Maintenance of peace and tranquility in Ibadan land through Ibadan Compound Peace Initiative, establishment of ICT Training Center for CCII, successful foundation laying of Bashorun Koladaisi Vocational Training Center, which is nearing completion, among other numerous achievements.
All right, so now you know Barrister Ajeniyi Ajewole, President, Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, is our guest on Guest of the Month for the month of November. A man of many parts from what you have seen from his profile, and indeed a very worthy guest. You're welcome, Chief Ajeniyi Ajewole.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you here.
I'm so happy having been with you.
Thank you very much.
Jande Sola.
Thank you
Am I
very much.
right?
Yes. All right, it's good to have you. Let's begin. You know, as an elder statesman, I see you as someone who has impacted when the history of Ibadan or your state, when the history will be told, your name will be written in gold. And so you have done exceedingly well for Ibadan and your state. But let me begin by congratulating you once again on the emergence of the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land.
Thank you so much.
Oba Senator Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja.
Kabiyesi.
And I'd like to say that he has come up with a lot of reforms. He's not the first in the history of Ibadan, but it stands out. Maybe being a former governor, so he understands what it means for development. Now tell us, how do you see some of these reforms he has brought?
Thank you so much. Once again, I want to welcome all our audience in this program. And I want to say Kabiyesi to our referred over, His Excellency, distinguished Senator, His Imperial Majesty, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Akamu Ladoja. Arusawa, please say Kabiyesi. Kabiyesi again.
Kabiyesi.
Let him here in this palace that we are saying Kabiyesi to
Kabiyesi.
Yeah, and I also say Kabiyesi to all the members of Olubadan Council because they are all obas. And you know, when they say His Imperial Majesty, it means a king that installed other kings. As a matter of fact, like either Tola or Jalis Tola said earlier on, Ibadan is a mega city. We have about 57 towns and over 1,000 villages in Ibadan. So we thank God that God give us the 44th Olubadan. You see, Oba Ladoja is quite different for many reasons. Good. He didn't start as a governor of Oyo State. And he also did not start as a senator of Oyo South. This was an Oba that started his life from humble beginning, but has made a lot of money from the time he was in the secondary school. He always have distinction. And when he got to, he became an engineer and was highly respected. He has directed many white men when he was working at as a graduate there. So he has gained a lot of experience before going to politics. He was already known as a rich man, a philanthropist, and someone that if he touches anything, the things become good. Now, his performance as a governor for your state is well known and well documented. And you will realize that when he was there, a lot of people love his policies. And after he has left, people continue to refer to when Ladoja was governor for your state. Let me give you an example. The civil servant can never forget Ladoja in terms of payment of salary, and he introduced what they call the 13th month salary then. And in the area of education, it was the person said, no, there shouldn't be more than 35 students in the class. So he has done a lot. And you know, interestingly, before you can become Olubado by the land, you have to take about 26 steps from each side of the. So, which means about 52. Because we have the Olubado line from where he emerged. You know, he started as Ajeniyi Ajewole, and we have the other side, which is the Balogun side. Now, imagine the type of experience someone will have when you started from the lower cadre of that steps. So they have gathered a lot of experience on the tradition of Motherland. So one was not surprised when people are saying that, we have never had this type of installation or coronation. Principally, it was well loved by all the people. Secondly, the people are expecting him. Later, he may not choose to become Oba because he will think that I've become a governor of a state. And in line of protocol, if they mention the current governor of any state today, the next person they mention is the former governor. But in protocol list, Olubade is about number 14, even after the chairman of the local government. So he may not be so interested, but it's about the people that said, no, we want you.
Barrister Ajewole, we'll still come back to talk about the Olubado and, of course, the Ibadan succession systems. But I want to ask you this. You are the current president of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes. President General. And definitely, you are very passionate about Ibadan. So I want to ask you this question. Who is an Ibadan man? What qualifies me to be called an Ibadan man?
Now, there's no debate about it. You are an Ibadan man if your father is an origin of Ibadan, not a resident of Ibadan. No, even if your mother is an Ibadan origin, you are not an Ibadan.
Why?
It's only someone whose father is an origin of Ibadan.
So it's only determined paternally.
What do you say?
It's only the
Paternity,
yes.
not the maternity. Then you are right.
You know, in addition to that, you know why I asked this question? One of your eminent citizens once said on a live program that Ibadan is a no man's land.
No. If anybody said that, it's not being sincere.
Chief, before you continue, we need to go on a break. Let's go on this break. And when we come back, of course, you respond to that question fully. Stay with us, don't go away. All right, welcome back. Is still the guest of the month on the Broadcasting Corporation of your state. And of course, before we went on that break, my colleague, my co-presenter was asking Baba, about who truly, and he was
Stand by
explaining that
this.
someone was talking about
That Ibadan is no man's land.
it's no man's land.
No.
And it based his premise actually on the fact that, well, Ibadan people have their sources from different places outside Ibadan.
Thank you very much. I will answer it. Now, Ibadan was founded by Lagilu or Patameja from Ilefe. Definitely, later on, people from other parts of Yoruba came. From Oyo, from Ogbomoso, and so on and so forth. But there was a destruction of the first Ibadan. Then, the second Ibadan emerged during the time of Labosidi. The one we are having now is the third Ibadan, which we call Ibadan Leoluyole. So, Ibadan was founded by warriors. Are you getting what I'm saying? And that is why it's a Republican. That is the mistake they are making. Because Ibadan is a Republican. That is, when a lot of people came together, warriors, to form a town, then they believe that each of them are of equal. What they used to have then is force among equal. The descendants of these people are the Ibadan indigenous. So how can you now say, now, if you say Ibadan house is a no man's land, so anybody can just go to any part of Ibadan land and say you want to build a house or what? Are you going to say you have to have your ancestral land, and that is why we say Ibadan tó nílé tí ò lóko kì í sọmọ Ìbàdàn. A true Ibadan son will have an homestead like where I come, Okwemada. You must also have a village. So if you have a home without a village, you are not an Ibadan man.
Wow.
So it will be very wrong to say that Ibadan is no man's land.
Okay, let's look at the structure of Ibadan.
Thank you.
At the point that Ibadan was established by warriors and called Ibadan Ile-Oluyole,
Yes.
how many warriors came together to form the Ibadan that we have today?
And there are many warriors.
Do we
Don't
have
forget
figures?
I said that when you want to trace the history of Ibadan, go and look at Samuel Johnson or any other history book. Lagelu came to where we call Igbo Para,
Okay.
which was later turned to Ebauda. And that was at a water side of Ibadan. That is where we used to worship Okeban every year. So when there was this problem of masquerade and that unfortunately people were able to know that human beings are under the mask of masquerade. So they disorganized them. They later come to where we call Ori, the other side, Ori Yagi. But that time, there are many warriors. Oluyole was there. People like Ogmola, Fokwaye Jenku, Ibikunle. So many of them. For example, Ibikunle came from Ogmoso. Oluyole came from Oyo. In fact, he was a prince in Oyo. Foko came from a place beside Offa. They call it, I will be there myself. It's just a very small town, side of Offa. And many of them. So there are many of them. Ogmola came from Fesu, near Iwo. Yes, that is where Ogmola came from. And so on and so forth. These are people who now settle what we have as the traditional institution of Ibadan land.
Today.
And also, I'm sure you must have been asked this question more than 1 million times. Now, it is said that people of different sub-ethnic nationalities do have their peculiar traits and behavioral patterns. Ibadan people, of course, are not to be very friendly and accommodating, especially when it comes to relationship with strangers. But there is also this thing about the mastery of diplomatic mischief. They call it like and Connie. So I don't know. How have you been handling these questions and observations from people?
And is it actually true?
No, thank you so much. Now, if you look at all the cities in Nigeria, or even Africa, you will say that there's no city as blessed as Ibadan. And that is because we accommodate people from different ethnicities. And if I even look at all the leaders in Nigeria today, one time or the other, they must have passed through Ibadan. Now, what they call LIPO, I will tell you what LIPO means, how the word LIPO was derived. You know Bawas Tower?
Yeah.
Which was built on the colonial days to immortalize one of the
Colonial master.
British residents there. That is Bawa. If you go to that place, there's a spiral step.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have been there, you see there's a spiral. So when people are climbing, they say, oh, all my Yipo, Lipo, that is how. But those who want to designate us, now change it to, it's called a mistake. No. Ibadan is the, when you have a relationship with Ibadan, you know that we are so, we are so straightforward in our dealing with people. But this is not to say that if an Ibadan man realize that you are cunning, then it will teach you a lesson in cunningness. because we have native intelligence more than any other person.
Okay.
And native intelligence but that is where we accommodate people. We are having advantages of it now, and we are having disadvantages of it for our accommodating different people all over the world. We became the largest city, and we are expanding by the day. And there is also the other side of it, that even we are, unfortunately, many of what should have been ours are now.
Okay, let me take you on from there. As the President General of CCII, so many groups have sprung up in Ibadan. And that's why I love the fact that your position is President General, so there can be other presidents. But away from groups, we've seen that Ibadan is a very large city. And the population of people coming in, trooping, I won't say coming, trooping into Ibadan on a daily basis is increasing.
Thank you.
And this is affecting the standard of living. Things, people are now building more houses, encroaching to other parts,
Yes.
Where we didn't get to see houses before. Yes. Now, how would you describe this expansion? And how is CCI, how are you projecting towards managing this increasing population that we have?
Thank you so much.
In relation to that, Chief, before you answer that, I want to put a right to that question she asked. I don't know how true this is. I'm always very fascinated by the history of Yorubas. They said your ancestors that they set some snails somewhere, and that they said the snails are many, that they are giant snails, and that the more they continue moving, the more the city continues to expand. How true is this?
Thank you very much. Let me start from my sister. When you talk of Central Council of Ajeniyi, we must get it right. It's an umbrella of socio-cultural clubs. Oh. Individuals are not members of Central Council of Ajeniyi. Actually, it was funded by only 3 clubs. And that was the Ibadan Progressive Junior APU, the Lagelu 16, and the IDCUI. That is the Ibadan within Polytechnic Ibadan
University.
So they formed what is called CCII. We have an umbrella club. But by now we have over 286 clubs.
Wow.
Within the Central Council of Ajeniyi now. So it's an umbrella. Individuals are not members of, and that is why we call the president of CCI President General. Because Omar Jones, for example, as a president, IPB as a president, Uli Social as president, so on and so forth. So that is, let's first get that one clear. Then, on issue of this expansion, like I said, we are the most blessed city. And we continue to have, even many of us, even the Bangladeshis cannot know the extent of Ibadan now. In the olden days, they will say you climb Bawas Tower, you will be able to see
the whole of
all part of Ibadan. If you do it now, you are only joking. You will be able to see only part of it. Yes. We thank God that people are so conscious of one, development and growth, because development is different from growth. If there's only growth in the society, it may be a disorganized one. And that is why even your state government is now doing what they call a new town. There's the new Ibadan town, something like that, to make sure that Ibadan remains, because there's Ibadan master plan, which they have been following for the past 30 years. So, and the CCII is collaborating with all the stakeholders, the government, our traditional leaders, in making sure that our expansion does not adversely affect the development of Badala. Then on this issue of snail, you see, there are many stories that we may not be able to verify. But what I know is that we call in Ibadan land, they said that is the story we had, and people will say, "But more about Baton, Yoba, Aroba City, Babatani." That when there was a problem, the herbalist then consulted Ifa Oracle. And what came out from Ifa Oracle is a jewelry. And that he now said, send all this thing all about. Wherever they get to is where Ibadan we extend to. No one up till now has seen any snail. So that is why the city continues to expand on daily basis.
Okay. Yes, let's go on the commercial break.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys.
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
Supramalt, multivitamin junior.
It is that time of the year again!
This Christmas, StarTimes is bringing Joy Unlimited to your home with a double upgrade promo.
Yes, you heard it!
Okay, here's the deal. Simply recharge 1 month on Nova, Basic and Classic, and enjoy double upgrade for 1 month, while Super or Global subscribers enjoy 5 extra days for free. Or recharge for 2 months on Nova, Basic, Classic, and enjoy double upgrade for 2 months, plus 10 extra days, while Super or Global subscribers enjoy 20 extra days for free.
Good deal, right? Sure it is! We have got something for everyone this festive season. From blockbuster movies, live sports, best kiddies content, premium Bollywood, and novella series, and of course, exclusive shows like the Hello Mr. Right.
To enjoy this offer, recharge between November 15th to January 15th at any StarTimes office or dealer outlets. The more the recharge, the more the magic. Terms and conditions apply. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. One Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Alright everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know, I beg no be so. Ever had a Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world. For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, you get time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up and shine your smile. No more cover mouth. Because we Colgate, that's who do ya, that with your smile.
All right, thanks for staying tuned, and it's good to know you are still there. And it's still it's still guest of the month live on BCOS television, and guest is Barrister Ajeniyi Ajewole, President General, Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes. Now, Barrister Ajewole, there's this question. It's also part of our lineup. Journalists that are in the house with us from other media organizations have also told us to ask you this. Don't you think Oyo State, where Ibadan belongs, it's ripe for a power shift? The Ibadans haven't been at the helm of affairs in Oyo State for the better part of the state's democratic existence. When we talk about democratic leaders that have emerged in Oyo State,
you mean governor of Oyo State?
Governors.
Let be frank. Let me straightforward about this. Let me tell you. You invited me once, one as a lawyer, as an Ibadan indigenous, and as a Nigerian. So there may be some view that may express that may not be the official position of CCII. I don't know what people mean by power shift. In the whole of Oyo State, in terms of population, Ibadan is about 54%. In terms of local government, we have 11 local government out of the 33. Ogbomoso, for example, have 5. Okeogun have about 10, the whole of Okeogun. Ibarapa has 3, while Oyo has about 3 or 4. Now, don't forget that there was a time when a non-Ibadan person has ruled Oyo State. That is late Christopher Akala.
And late Chief Bolagi.
No, that was Old Oyo State.
Old Oyo State, okay.
And if we also remember that even in the whole Oyo State, there was only one time an Ibadan man ruled, and that was Omololu.
Loyo.
We did not complain there. Ibadan has been the regional capital since the formation of Nigeria. When Nigeria have 3 regions, the northern region, the eastern region, western, Ibadan was the regional capital. Our son did not become governor or even premier. During the time of Awolowo, Akintola was from Ogbomoso, was the premier of the then Western region, where Baba Awolowo was when he moved to the opposition. Awolowo was the first premier of Western region. He's from Ijebu. We moved from there to Western State. And Ibadan man did not emerge as governor. Even during the military regime, we were not made governor.
Okay.
So, I don't know what to mean by passive. I'm sorry, let me complete. Now we are in Oyo now. Anytime we want to vote, A party will present an Ibadan man. Other people are free to present their candidates. I don't get what I'm saying now. And, you know, when you talk about democracy, it's a number of they count votes. So if anybody from any other part of the state is presented, and we believe he knows if we believe that it will be good for the whole of the state, we will vote for him.
Fantastic. I like that angle. Chief, I like that angle where you just came from, saying that if you know the person can perform, why not? You will support. Now, let's look at it. Is that why yourself and many other Ibadan sons and daughters are actually looking towards having Ibadan state?
Definitely.
So that you can now own the state and now allow your own son or daughter to become the governor.
That is it. It's part of it. Because we believe that if we have Ibadan state, within a very short time, we have a Singapore in Ibadan.
Like seriously?
I'm telling you, especially with the Oba we have now.
How do you want to change the face of places like Bere, Ojaoba, Popoyemoja, and all of that? How do you plan to change the face?
A tale of two cities.
I mean, to Singapore.
Now, let me tell you, one of our pride is what JP Clark said in his poem. Let me tell you, a society without history is a forgone society. It's a non-existent society. We are proud of all these type of places we are saying. Even England, not this advanced countries we are talking about, where they preserve as their historical.
So in this Singapore setting,
we are proud of it, and like what I said, there's a master plan, there's about the master plan, which gradually they are implementing. Okay. So all these places we are talking about, by the time we have it, it will be modern and at the same time, maintain this.
So how do you, while maintaining the way it is, how do you plan to ensure cleanliness, sanitation, hygiene around those places? Because those are the issues around those places.
And solid waste management. I think that's what she's trying to say. It's been a very big challenge.
It may be, but we agree with me that the present of the state government is really doing a lot on that. But it's not as dirty as it was many years ago. Because now, what Oyo State government did is that they provide all these contractors. For example, in my house, everybody will have a drum in his houses, and they came every month to pick it up. So Ibadan is not as dirty as, because it's for the state government, and that is what they are doing, to make sure that there's sanitation, not only in Ibadan, but in the whole of the state.
But Chief, I want to take you a little back to the age of, the matter of power shift that we mentioned earlier. And you said that any other person from any other part of the state can always come out. So long as he or she is accepted by the people. Yes. But we both know, Chief, that it is a done deal unless the Ibadan people deliberately decide that they are not going to run. No. It's a done deal.
No. An addendum to that. An addendum on the same question. Okay. So will CCII, peradventure you find someone, this is a question coming from one of the journalists, will CCII support rotational governorship candidate?
Thank you very much. CCII is not a political society or club or council.
But very influential.
We are
and their voice must be heard.
We are a political. Members of affiliated clubs. I said we have over 280 affiliated clubs. Members of affiliated clubs belong to different political parties. We have APC, PDP, and so on. So normally, Central Council, we are like father to all of them. But the point I'm making is this: if there's anybody from Ogomaso or Oyo, that people realize that, if we put our destiny in the hands of this man, definitely you can go and sleep. People will vote for him. Even against an Ibadan indigenous, I'm very sure. Because we are highly enlightened. But we just don't follow people dogmatically. People are saying, they love Makinde. We love him not because he is an Ibadan man. But we can visibly see what he has been doing. We don't follow people dogmatically at all. Akala defeated Ibadan man then. There was an Ibadan candidate during the time of Akala.
He had the backing of
Ajeniyi was a candidate then. Who was Professor Idoja was a candidate at that election. There are many others. He defeated all of them to become the governor of Oyo State.
Akala
Go and look at his vote. He has votes in Ogun and he has votes in Ibadan. Yes.
Well, Akala had the backing of an Ibadan godfather.
Let me tell you. Yes, our great Baba, Lamidi Adedowu, that's what you are saying. Yes. For every politician, there must be some leaders, some public opinion molders. And this is not to say that other candidates do not have powerful people behind them there.
So whoever wants
at that election, that was 2007 election.
Yes.
Our president Kabiyesi, you will know better. And that time, that was very powerful. It was as powerful as Baba then. It was law. But the voters look at, this is the person we want. I didn't do that. For example, my brother. I worked tirelessly to make him the governor, but people voted for Akala. So we do not follow dogmatically. But it's a very enlightened.
So whoever wants to contest from other parts of Ibadan can begin to look at strong, individuals, influential groups, as to have them as maybe godfathers to support them strongly, provided they have what it takes, and then they will get support. I'm just taking you back to the analysis you just gave about late Baba Adedibu,
yes,
who supported strongly, and late Christopher Adebayo, former governor.
As the president of Olubadan supported strongly Ajimobi at that election.
I'm not going there. What I'm saying is that whoever wants to contest going forward, since people are talking about power shift, should also bring a quality candidate and get backing of Ibadan leaders like you.
In politics, it's a give and take something. If I come from Ogunwaso alone, voter cannot make an Ogunwaso. He has to come to Ibadan, campaign, seek for votes. Once they realize that, this man is capable, if he can do the work of, not the work of Ibadan alone, although Ibadan is more than half of Oyo State, but once an Ibadan people, voters, realize, we can trust this man.
Okay,
we can do this.
Let's quickly go to development. His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, has gone on a trip of development in the last 6.5 years. I'd like us to examine what he has done. Let's look at it sector by sector, education, power. Let's look at roads. Let's look at infrastructure in Oyo State. How would you describe his performance?
Without being modest, His Excellency, Engineer Makinde, I was scoring very high. When Seyi Makinde became a governor in 2019, people were worried. One, because he was not known to be a politician before. He did not contest for us. He was not in the House. He was never a senator. He was never a chairman of a local government. He was even never a councillor. But his private, he came from the private sector. By the time he became governor, he made some promises that were kept. in terms of infrastructure, you will see that Ibadan has never having so good, and at the same time, many parts of Oyo State. There's the dualization of roads all over, building of new stores. If you go to the secretariat now, for example, I will give you one example. Since that secretariat was built, that was during the time of the British people, Wolo was then premier. The local government, the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy, they didn't have any building of their own. They always squat in one ministry or the other. Go and look at what he has done at the secretariat. And he replicate that in many places, even schools. And one thing I like his government for example, once we complain, this school, there's no classroom there, the commissioner in that ministry will be asked to follow us there, to sit in by himself.
As CCII?
Yes, we used to do that because our interest is about the land. We used to complain. Our people come and complain. Oh, we have problem here, we have problem there. Then we go and meet them. And they will immediately stand up and make the necessary correction. Even look at this this road, Circular Road. It takes a visionary leader. It takes someone who knows that this has to be done. When it has been conceived, the idea has been conceived in the time of Lamadishina, our Baba Lamadishina. His Excellency, the then Governor Usman Jolbadan, elected and he wanted to do it also. He was unable to do it until the time of this man. I said, look, this has to be done. Definitely there will be problems here and there, but these are problems that are solvable. By the time they finish the Circular Road, it will be of benefit, not to Seyi Makinde family, for God's sake. It will be of benefit for all of us.
Okay.
Chief, like I said before, I'm always very intrigued with Yoruba history, especially the role of the Ibadan people. In warding off foreign invaders, the Battle of Osogbo in 1840, and the Ibadan Balogun versus, it was Ibadan Infantry versus Fulani Cavalry.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask Chief, the current contemporary citizens of Ibadan, do they still possess that warlike nature of their progenitors? And then, why do I ask this? I mean, such that they could also still be the political and democratic saviors of Yoruba land, especially when it comes to efforts to redefine the terms and conditions of our continuous stay within the Nigerian entity. Are the Ibadan going to be playing any prominent role?
Thank you very much. You are right to say that we saved the whole of Yoruba land from the Fulani Day. That was the Osogbo. But has done that in many ways. Even within Yoruba setup, Ibadan used to stand up to defend the integrity, the culture of Yoruba land. And that is, I will give you an example. The Ijaye War against Kunmi was a war to make sure that the sanctity of Yoruba culture was not destroyed there. And that of Osogbo, where the Fulani were sending me. But for that, what the Fulani want to do then is to make sure that all our Obas will become emirs. They will have been, using turban now. Now, in politics, Ibadan has equally played, such role. We have many of our fathers who have gone. We talk of Adelabu, you talk of there are many of them. You talk of Lamadishina. You talk of, look at a lot of problems that the President asked when he was. His problem was not from Ibadan then. time of Governor Ladoja was not within Ibadan, but he was able to withstand it and triumph at the end of the day. So we will continue to make sure in politics, we have great Ibadan politicians. Look at what is happening in PDP now. Some people are saying that, hey, why did the Makinde did the
convention?
The convention.
It takes a warrior mind person. Let me give you two analogies. You know, the problem in PDP has been very long. Now, assuming a robber attacks a house, the occupier of the house has two options. Either to give himself to fate, sit and let them do. And they may kill, they may maim, they may destroy everything. But the other option is,
Fight back.
Let me see what I can do to save myself and my people. Maybe by calling, maybe by also looking for things to defend themselves. That may save him than just sitting down to feed. Let me give you another analogy. Flood. If flood is coming to a person, say, agbára iti pọ̀jù àwọn adákẹ́. Oníkóṣe what will happen? If you not only wash the house away, it will wash you and your family away. But the other option is, this thing is coming. Yes. Ejekin Lagot be, Ejekin Silem be, let me do this, let me do that. You may be safe. That is what people don't know Makinde is doing.
Okay, your analogy about this flood that you have just been, I want to relate it to this my next question. As president of CCII, and if we are talking about the structuring of the Nigerian nation, is there any particular model that the Ibadans are comfortable with, and are you in deliberations with other Yorubas of Southwest Nigeria regarding this? Because we can talking about the flood that might come when it comes to the structuring of Nigeria.
You see, we are people of history. What happened during the First Republic? When you have what you can call a true federalism. You have the Western region, the Northern region, each developing at its own rate. You have regional government, and you have the center that takes care of only external things and currency and so on and so forth. It was when the ministry came that they destroyed true federalism. Unless we go back to that time, when there will be regional government, are you getting me? With the federal, within the regional government, there will be states like we have. But each region will continue to develop at its own rate. And with that, there will be peace. But when there's too much centralization of power at the federal level, that's what is causing the whole problem. Most states now, their only means of revenue is to go to Abuja, collect the lodges, and that's all. So, and that is the position of Central Council of Energy. And we are having discussion with some other people from Yoruba. As a matter of fact, just about 2 months ago, one of our great Yoruba leaders, Ambassador Farumbi, came to me and said, "Nee, I want to challenge you to do something. Invite all cultural groups from various towns in Yoruba land so that we can form a formidable force to defend Yoruba land." That's a good idea. We're already working on that. We invite club, very powerful club from Debu, from Ondo, and so on and so forth.
Are you
that
saying
was the idea of Ambassador Farobi for them.
Are you saying Yoruba unity is impeccable?
It's possible. You see, it's not possible. It depends on the actors. It depends on those who want to bring in this unity. If you leave it in the hands of the politician, we may never get it. Okay. Because definitely each of them is competing for one thing or the other.
Okay.
And their interests may not be compatible.
Okay.
If we leave it to the traditional rulers, there's this issue of a mutual. But like Ambassador Farumbi suggested, it's what we can do, and we are planning to do it.
Okay, of course, let's appreciate you for all the comments that you have been making and contributions. But let's just remind our guests that, of course, our guest in the studio today is Barrister Ajeniyi Ajewole, who is the President General of CCII and, of course, a legal luminary. And, of course, you can watch us live on our social media platforms on YouTube. We're live on StarTime, on GoTV. And, of course, you can also listen to us wherever you are in all our radio channels on Agility FM, Okeogun, and, of course, Oluyole FM. And, of course, our guest is still with us. And he will be responding to more questions. And at some point, we're going to open the lines for you to also ask your questions from home. All right, let me quickly take you through, of course, another angle to this conversation. The issue of insecurity. Recently, this is a question from one of our journalists. Recently, Kwara was invaded. Before now, there was a time the Southwest almost became unsafe. And that was what brought about the emergence of Amotekun Corps.
Yes.
And they've been doing a lot. Now, how can we address this insecurity in the Southwest? And of course, because whether we like it or not, Kwara is not in Southwest. But anything that happens in Kwara is just a stone throw.
Robot, yes.
Yes. But before you respond to that question, let's go on this commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned.
All right, everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know, I beg no be slow. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world? For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, you get time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up and shine your smile. No more cover now. Please Colgate, that's what do ya down with your smile. Protect every day with Hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
So disinfect your living room every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
Alright everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know, I beg no be slow. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world? For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, you get time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up and shine your smile. No more cover now. Please Colgate, that's what do ya down with your smile.
All right, welcome back. He's still guest of the month for the month of November. All right, of course, our guest in the studio, like I mentioned earlier, is Chief Ajeniyi Ajewole, who is in the studio with us. And before we went on that break, I was talking about insecurity. And don't forget, as it comes close to us in Kwara, we're the next. Away from this, on a daily basis, we also see Okada riders coming in their numbers. We see a lot of people being brought in from, I won't say a particular region, but being brought into our state and some other stuff. How would you describe it, and how can we put an end to this insecurity?
Thank you so much. You see, when you talk of insecurity, it has no barrier. It knows no religion, no gender. And that is why if anybody says there's a genocide in Nigeria, that Muslims are then one we know that that person is not telling the truth, but there's serious insecurity. And to us, no life is worth wasting. Killing of any man, whether Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, whether Christian, Muslim, or traditionalist, or whatever, is a life too much loss. So no one wants it. Now, we pray that the federal government will do more on the issue of insecurity. And like what you said, the Amotekun are doing, but within Ibadan land, there have been many ways in solving the problem of insecurity. I will tell you one. There's this compound security initiative. It was funded by Dr. Sanusi Elilaji. Yes, he was able to train many. He got the police to train many security men. Because insecurity can be in two ways. It can be internal, it can be external. So, some 5-6 years ago, you'll be hearing of 1 million boys, this problem in Poko, this problem in. You can see that all that it was through his effort and some of the magages, I must tell you. And when Kabiyesi, the president of Ibadan, before he was even installed, he invited all magages in Ibadan and told them, each of you is the chief security of your compound. You see, if we say, we want Ibadan to be clean, I fẹ́ gbá bàlẹ̀ kọ́ mọ́ o, gbogbo ẹ kó ìgbàlẹ̀ wá ẹjẹ́ àmọ́ bọ̀ ọmọ kù, ẹjẹ́ àmọ́ gbá bàlẹ̀, Ìbàdàn ó lè mọ́. Bọ́tí wọn kálukú ń lé rẹ o, gbá ilé rẹ, tún ọ̀dẹ̀ sí tún tẹ̀ sí. We need not be. That is the thinking of Aoba. He called them. Each of you is, if anything happens in any compound, it's you I will hold responsible. This is the way to do it. And this, we believe that issue of insecurity, at least, and when you talk of people coming from that part of, I only pray that when we are young, when we are in university, we will be happy to go and do your NYC anywhere. In the north, in the east, but now, everybody's, even if you want to travel to Abuja, unless you go by plane, you will become uncomfortable to go. We don't want this. And we want the government to change the way they address this insecurity. But within Ibadan land, this is what we are doing.
And within your state?
In each landlord association, we want them. You don't bring any tenants into your house. Each landlord, we visit landlord associations, give them rules. What we do, if there's any tenant, there must be a form, which is passport photograph, details, so that if anything happens, we know how to.
But if you look at the cost, if you look at the cost of, renting houses, is it also this expansion that is allowing us to have high cost of food? Because Ibadan used to be the cheapest. You could get pepper as cheap as 100 naira, 200 naira that will feed your family, in one day. But now if you don't have up to 5,000 naira, you may not be able to feed your family. Is it this expansion that has also led to high standard of living, the cost of housing? You see some of these Yahoo boys willing to pay 1.5 million for an apartment that, someone working hard cannot even afford to pay 300,000 naira. What can be done to resolve this issue?
Thank you so much. You see, we must not forget one thing. Even when you say things are costly and Ibadan, compare with other places you'll be thinking of, we still remain a place to live in terms of cost comparison. Then we must not forget that the economy, things are changing the whole world, not only in Nigeria. That is what people do not know. I used to ask people, when we are very young, in the whole of Popo Imaja, my area, which is bigger than another town in Yoruba land, there was only one television that all of us will run to watch. I don't get one now. But later on, there's development, I always say that we don't want our standard of living to rise. Each house has a television.
No,
they can have 20.
The kind of television you even see in houses in Coco, they're fantastic.
Thank you very much. So what is wrong? We will not complain. Things are costlier. What we should be praying for and we should be working towards is that our should not be worse than other places. So I don't say much about that time. You have only Volkswagen. Well, the type of car the journalists are using now.
Did you say journalists?
Yes.
We are the best in the world. We are the best in the
That's
world.
what I'm saying. We have many cars that cost 100 million. What? Can you find such a car in Nigeria in the 60s? You only find Volkswagen. The best anybody will use them maybe Gallant or Volvo or Peugeot. But you have series of as standard of living improves, definitely the cost implication will also look at it.
Still on the matter of security, you mentioned the efforts of the current Olubado to hold the mortgages to task in securing their respective homesteads and communities. This brings me to the issue of traditional rulers and not just in the southwest. Well, let me narrow down to the southwest. There are worries and reservations about the overbearing attitude of governors when it comes to the selection process and the installation of traditional rulers. They are even saying that the governor has taken over the role of Mifa. People are saying that governor Mifa in most cases where you want to appoint or select traditional rulers. And this is one of the matters said to be hindering the traditionals from performing their roles as traditional security officers, chief security officers of their respective communities. What do you think?
Now, let me tell you, before the advent of the white men, they call traditional ruler Igbakeji Orisa. They are the most powerful people. The monarch are the most powerful people in any society. Even Baale of a village called Baale or Kolu. Are you getting it? But when the British came, the first thing they did is to make sure that they have a control of the traditional rulers. They introduced what they call the indirect rule in the north. So that, no, they introduced indirect rule it's in the south. In the east, for example, where they don't have about they appointed what they call the warrant chiefs. They made sure by that time they have been eroding the powers of the traditional rulers. And by the time we have the Nigerian constitution, definitely there have been laws. There's the chief's law. For example, your state has the chief's law. Each city, as we have what we call a chieftaincy declaration. And that is why we continue to pray and thank our own forefather for their foresight. Because everybody cannot be influenced by any governor. Because already they have put in the procedure. Like I said, you will start as either Ajia Olubadan or Ajia Balogun. Now, in other places where they have traditional royal families, because any freeborn Ibadan man is a prince. He can become an Olubadan. The first thing you do is to become a Magaji in your compound. And once you are able to get into either of the two lines, then you continue to pray to God for long life and health. You become Olubadan. Are you getting it? But we have to have royal family, the royal, still, their own declaration will say, okay, maybe there are 2 or 3 royal families that can become Oba. But the chief law is there. It's the governor that has the ultimate power to make that appointment. So, it's a Dalu. But we, in our case, you cannot, it's very difficult. Even when there are problems within the Ibadan, we're able to solve it because the thing is clear. And we let people know, even outsiders who want to interview, say, no, shut up your mouth. Neighbor, no. And we were able to resolve it. Oh.
Okay, of course, it's time for us to open the phone lines. Of course, people at home would also like to ask you questions and contribute, of course, to the program. Of course, having said that, while we're waiting for calls to come in, I'd like to take you through this issue of, development, Ibadan mega plan and all of that. You mentioned earlier that many governors have tried, to put in this. And His Excellency has taken a giant stride to actually put this in place. But we saw some days ago, some of the residents in those areas blocked the expressway.
Yes.
What is CCI doing to intervene, to see that, okay, we have a caller on the line. Okay, so, of course, we'll take that call when he comes back again. Okay, so what's CCI doing to intervene between the people, for them to see, yes, and the government, what's CCI doing?
Thank you very much. You see, they did not only complain outside, petition has been written to the Central Council by the indigenous. And we've made a lot of moves. Even if you were there at Iwo Road when the governor was speaking, he was trying to explain the true position of that circular road. He said, look, the Magajis, the Palace, and the Central Council by Indigenous, that all of us will go there to see things by ourselves. It's because we have made a lot of moves. You see, it's for us to balance between whether we want development or we want something destroyed. Nobody pray that his house will be destroyed. However, people must do things within the law. Even if you go to court, I'm a lawyer, you can only be vindicated if you have a very good case. At the same time, we have been telling the government, look, every policy must have human face. Are you getting it? And like I said, the governor is listening. We used to visit the governor, we tell him, these are the problem at hand. How do we tackle it? At times, say, seek for what way? I remember there was one worker strike. And we went to him. We don't want this thing, although Ibadan just a part of Oyo State. But whatever happened in Ibadan affects every other part of Oyo State. The governor said, what did they say I've done? What is my friend from there?
Chief, let's pay some bills.
The second day we took the union leader there and we were able to resolve. They returned to work.
Fantastic.
They used to listen.
Fantastic. Chief, let's go pay some bills. We need to pay some bills. Let's go on a commercial break. When we come back, we'll take more calls and then we'll allow you to complete your thoughts. Stay with us. Don't go away.
All right, everyone. No put your ears. Make we talk. Shout my team fresh now. But I beg no be so. Ever heard of Colgate? The #1 oral care brand in the world. For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, you get time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up, and shine your smile. No more cover mouth. Because we Colgate, that's what we are down with your smile. Protect every day with Hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
So disinfect your kitchen every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No grief. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
Alright, everyone, no put your ears. Make we talk. Shout my team fresh now. But I beg no be so. Ever heard of Colgate? The #1 oral care brand in the world. For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, you get time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up, and shine your smile. No more cover mouth. Because we Colgate, that's what
All right, good to know you are still there, and the program is still guest of the month on BCOS television, and Chief Ajeniyi Ajewole is our guest, President General Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes. I want to ask this, still talking about Ibadan land and urban development, right down to the last question that Jade asked. Now, a lot of ancestral property, ancestral homes, are being sold to outsiders, especially people from Southeast Nigeria. I don't know if you have noticed this, and is there any reason to be worried about this?
My brother, we've noticed and we are worried. I must confess.
Well, it's development.
You say, no, it's that, you know, when I say, because we are so accommodating, it has its advantages, and it also has its disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages is this, is what we are now talking about. We are so worried as people, but as indigenous. And both the Central Council of Ajeniyi and the Olubadan Council, we are now making a lot of efforts. You see, we want one Nigeria. We are one. Whether you are from East or anywhere, Ibadan believe in accommodating people. And that is this proverb. And the people are saying, Be onile, onin be alejo. I'm very sure Teriba is not from Ibadan, but he's enjoying everything in Ibadan.
Everything. He's enjoying.
Ibadan,
He's enjoying.
I love Ibadan.
So, but you see, go to even in the north, they are so wild that they don't sell their lands to people again. They can only lease it out for a term of years. And this is what we are also be advising our people. Instead of outright sale, you can lease, the thing returns back to you. And in fact, the president of Ibadan, I'm telling you, you know, immediately it was installed, you know, it constituted one committee, very powerful committee. The chairman of that committee is our mama, Onikepo Akande, 2 times minister. And the co-chairman is our Baba, Afolabi, Tunde Afolabi, the former head of service of the Federation. We have many system administrators, professionals in that committee. One of their terms of reference is that Ibadan properties should not be going, you know,
for sale
to people. In fact, he's planning to raise substantial amount as a grand capital to make sure that Ibadan people do not just sell their properties anyhow. So we are worried. Go to Iwo Road. Go to many parts of Ibadan.
Even around Salvation Army, Kote Dore.
And even at times we used to discuss with the government. Many of these estates, we won't be happy if at the end of the day, they were bought by non-indigenous. And we continue to educate our indigenous from many compounds. Because if you go to even the local area in Ibadan, like what my brother said, they sell their ancestral home to non-indigenous.
Okay,
this will stop by God. We are working towards it.
Of course, let's quickly engage the people at home. Of course, it's time for phone calls. For our radio listeners, the numbers to call to join the program, the numbers are 09071 606375. I'll take that again. 0907 160 6375. The other number, 0708 6825197. I'll take that again. 0708 6825197. Those are the numbers to call to join the conversation. Our line is open. You can call to engage the President General of CCII. And of course, don't forget that he's a legal luminary. Okay, so let's continue our conversation.
Chief Ajewole, let's talk about this current state of the nation. Well, we've talked about insecurity. Now, the economy, well, the words be patient, brace up for harder times, tighten your belts are words I've been hearing ever since I was a boy. The Tinubu administration is also appealing to us to be patient. And it's been 2 years now into that administration. Is the light actually at the end of the tunnel? Is there hope?
Okay. I'm a Muslim. I believe in Quran. And I believe in the words of Allah. It's commanders that we should not speak ills on our leaders and government, so that if we are cursing them, we are cursing ourselves. But if we be truthful to ourselves, this idea of be patient, it will be good tomorrow, has been a song for many years. The government, because they say, it was the last administration that spoiled everything. You will be there, won't see more changes. I'm praying that God will give us leaders who will not only be truthful to themselves, but be truthful to the subjects and to God. At times when you read some news in the newspaper, you become happy. Nigeria now has external surplus of critical billion. Do we see it on the table? And we say that majority of Nigerians can eat 3 square meals a day?
3 quality.
Let me say something. Any government that will succeed, and you see, Nigeria is a very patient, people in Nigeria are very patient, I must confess. In some other countries, things will not get as worse that we see. We don't pray for it. But I'm praying that our government should not tax our patience.
Well, all right, let's
something must be done. People are hungry. There's poverty in the land. There's still poverty. Yoruba will say, "Olo kala ni otosi mefa gbogbo otosi ni." You yourself will not be able to eat freely. And that is what our Lord said. You say, if you refuse to train the children of the poor, your own children will not be able to sleep because they will not consider. And that is what is happening now.
Okay. Chief, how can we truly and sincerely address the challenge of corruption? It seems to be at the root of all our problems. Insecurity, economy, name it, corruption.
I agree with you. May God give us leaders. The Chinese proverb is that a fish gets rotten from where? From the head. You are in Nigeria during the time of Murtala, isn't it? Immediately the man got to office, everybody sat up. Because I know men that were retired almost immediately because of corruption. But when, if anybody is preaching corruption, and you cannot see it in his own deed, then will you follow him? We see there's no money. Economy is bad. And you see some people building buying 240 cars and so on, or using a lot of millions to do what you consider unnecessary. Then will you not say, if our government is sincere, they will first of all fight the issue of corruption within themselves. Within the executive, within the legislature. I will say that corruption has not even hit into the judiciary. I'm a lawyer.
Okay, so
we are going there.
So to be very sincere, things are so, it's getting worse. People say we should be praying to God, but we must follow, fight our conscience. Unless our lives above board, issue of corruption cannot be solved in Nigeria.
Okay, Barrister Ajewole, I'm happy that you are a legal practitioner.
Yes.
And that takes us to the legal practice and judicial matters.
Thank you.
In the face of issues, politics in Nigeria, we have seen various conflicting judgments by various courts of the law. You have the Federal High Court, you have the State High Court issuing different, court judgments or court rulings. And this scares many of us, many Nigerians, that where are we going? The recent one was the People's Democratic Party court ruling last week. A court within the same hour issuing different, what is wrong and how can we harmonize, the judiciary?
Thank you very much. You see, having conflicting rulings and judgment is not good for our polity. It won't do anybody any good. But let us warn ourselves. In reviewing a ruling or judgment in court, where you don't know what was presented before that court, then you you will be making fundamental mistake if you condemn it, because you don't know what was presented. A judge will give ruling or judgment based on the facts presented before him. That is why I used to be weary of saying, why should I this court? Until I see the proceeding. Judges are human beings. And a very good job, we decide the case based on facts and law. So once I don't see what was presented before a judge, then I be careful.
Then let me an addendum to that. Yes, one may not have seen what was presented, but I want to ask: can't we get to a place, a point in our judicial system where judges can interact when they have the same? But before you respond to that, let's pay some bills, and then we'll be right back for you to respond to that. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Don't forget. Okay.
All right, everyone. No put your ears. Make we talk. Shout my teeth fresh now. But I beg no be so. Ever heard of Colgate? The #1 oral care brand in the world. For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, you get time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up, and shine your smile. No more cover mouth. Because we Colgate, that's what do ya got with your smile.
All right, welcome back. It's still November's episode of Guest of the Month. Let me quickly take our numbers again. You want to call on the program. The numbers to call, the numbers are 0907 160 6375. I'll take it again. 0907 160 6375. Or you can call 0708 682 5197. You can call in to also contribute or ask questions from our guest, Chief Ajewole. All right, Chief, before we went on that break,
yes,
I was asking, can judges not speak to one another and share notes instead of putting, instead of creating an atmosphere where people will be confused?
This is what I'm saying. Even if you have two courtrooms beside each other, and the two cases cannot be identical, they can be similar. The lawyers, the claimant, the lawyers, everything in one court before a particular judge will likely not be the same lawyers appearing before the second judge. You don't know what the two of them in court presented. It may be different. So when the judge now gives ruling, you say, why should that of court be different from court? You don't know what was presented before then. You see, when you talk of issue of judgment, the greatest judge in life is God, isn't it? But even despite the fact that he was omnipotent, omniscient, and everything. When Eve ate the forbidden fruit, God did not just send him away. He asked Adam, why did you eat? And that was it's my wife. If you said it was whether snake or but he first of all had them. That is what in law they call audis operant patent. Hear this second. So a judge will hear from A, from B, before he give judgment. So I used to be careful. But if I see the procedure, I will not say, this judge, no, this is wrong. But when you don't see it, let's be willing condemning a particular ruling or judgment of the court.
Chief, it looks to me like the judiciary and not the people are the actual determinants of who wins elections in Nigeria. They've become more like an electoral college that determines where the pendulum will swing, even over the most frivolous of litigations. What do you think?
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And one believes that the various electoral reform amendment, the National Assembly will take care of this because votes should count. Once a person is there, not through the popular vote, but the pronouncement of the judiciary, definitely will continue to do what he likes. Because actually, it was not elected. It was only imposed by the judiciary. It's not good. It's a very bad practice. And that is why we should continue to enlighten ourselves. You see, failure of democracy starts from each of us. Great political thinkers, one I couldn't remember, he said one thing. He said the basic problem of democracy is that votes are counted, they are not weighed. You don't weigh vote. What do? You count them. So the vote of someone who will receive 50 naira to vote is the same as you that want to vote for principle. Are you getting me? And unfortunately in society, those who will vote because of money are always more than people who will vote for good listening. That is what I say, well, democracy is a government of the fools because you can't vote, you can't eat, you can't vote, you do not weigh votes. But there's a way. In many, look at politics in Great Britain, and that is why you see party may be in government for some time. The next time, it will change because they make sure that their votes count.
Okay.
When vote counts in Nigeria, then our democracy will be stable.
Okay. We've seen that your profession seems to be having more people, joining the profession. If you look at the number of people studying law in various universities, you see that it has drastically increased. What do you think is responsible for this increase? And is it also based on politics that seem to be the order of the day? And, just like you just said, now it seems like our votes are not counting as expected. So they feel there's an avenue to also get in there.
Well, you see, I think individual people have passion for one profession or the other. In the olden days, I think, to me, in Nigeria, if you are a teacher, you will become the philosopher for that community. Things changes later on, lawyers, the engineers, doctors, even things are changing now. If you read law, people just say a lawyer. But if you read information technology or things like that, people will look at you and know you are. So So those are changes. But you see, lawyers are not many. There's not many. Yes.
Oh.
If Nigeria continue to grow, there are many lawyers per person in Nigeria. If you look at the ratio, you know that lawyers are not too many.
Maybe people don't like problems.
Yeah, no. You see, that is another thing. Lawyers do not listen to problems. That is what many of the rich lawyers in Nigeria say. It's not true problem. They got their money. If the economy is good, the lawyers will eat. It's not, if someone steals something, it's still a foul. I went to defend it. How much will they pay me? But if I buy a house of 100 million today, if you give me, I know what I make within 30 minutes. So if the economy is good, lawyers will eat.
Okay, let's go back to Afe Babalola.
Look at Afe.
Yeah, a legal luminary.
Yes.
He recently raised an alarm. Now look, our debt profile in Nigeria is about 99.7% and is increasing. And that this would not allow investors to come into the country. Now, as a person who is also in his field and who has passion for Nigeria, what's your take on this?
I agree with you. You know, I said it the other time. I said if you read stories from this one, they say our foreign reserve is also billion. They did not tell us our debt profile. And many people are warning, but unfortunately we take everything to be politics in Nigeria. When the opposition speaks, they say, oh, no, he's speaking because I remember in 1982, either 81, 82, the great sage, Obafemi Awolowo, was warning NPN there that the economy, the shape of the economy of this country is about to hit the rock. Everybody came out. He was saying nonsense. At the end of the day, it fell on everybody's head. I pray that our leaders listen. If people like Afe Babalola, because Afe Babalola will not talk if he didn't have the facts.
We've continued to borrow. How can we stop borrowing?
Then definitely it will affect investor coming. If we borrow to an extent, we are mortgaging our future. So they can do it if they want to do it. There are many. Look, if you know you don't know how to do this thing, let people can do it. Come in.
They should resign? Or walk away?
Are you saying that it doesn't happen in civilized countries?
Oh, but they are showing us that they are on top of the situation.
That is what leaders will say. That is what MPN said then. I pray, and there's one day I used to pray every morning for Mr. President. I swear. Because any prayer for is prayer for me and for everybody. Because it's when Nigeria is in peace that will be in peace. If there's a problem now, do you think any of us will be sitting down here? So we continue to pray for them and let them have a change of mind for the economy to move forward.
Do you think subsidy removal should have been done gradually?
That's a good question. You see, when subsidy was removed, I was one of those saying, hey, this thing we have multiplier effects, and that is what we are seeing. But at times, what they will tell you that, hey, what they see, they will say those in government, what they see that you, other people do not see it. But at the same time, they have economists, they have professionals who are highly knowledgeable, who can give advice. If you do this, this will be the effect. That subsidy remover improvised a lot of people. It was something we can see. It was visible. It's not something we can smell. So it's easy to know what was happening. Maybe if they did it gradually. They were saying that they did it because all this subsidy money was going to some private that some people are making on it. Can't there be a way of making sure, if we are all accountable, if we are transparent in our dealing, can't there be a way of making sure that these people do not get it? Well, we find ourselves in this situation. We pray that God will save ordinary Nigeria.
Now, Chief, when we started this program, we said we'll come back to the matter of the Ibadan traditional institutions and the Ibadan ascendancy system. What I want to ask now that we are having younger people as mortgages, how long do you think it will take before we have an Olubadan below the age of 60?
Thank you very much. That is impossible. I will tell you straight. It's impossible. People do not. Let me tell you, the former governor, our Baba, Governor Ajeniyi, he would tinkered with that ideas. But no, what we can do is that once you are 60, you won't become Olubadan. But because of the procedure of becoming Olubadan, even if I'm 40, I become Olubadan. Does that guarantee that the next person with me, behind me? Because I will continue. If I'm 90, they won't remove me away from being Olubadan. And that person, his growth cannot stop. It will continue to grow. So by our system, what we want experienced people, mature people to become Olubadan. Because, like I said, there's 26 steps from each side. You start from being Ajia Balogun or Ajia Olubadan. And unless there's a vacancy, you cannot move forward. So if anybody say, someone from 60 will be... well, and let me tell you, also, you can't fight nature. You don't know the work of God. The youngest Olubadan in this Olubadan was Obakabesi Obio. He became Olubadan at the age of 55. But tell me, how many years did he spend? He spent less than 6 months. He spent less than 6 months. He was the youngest known Olubadan. So, no, because growth cannot stop.
As we begin to wind down, we'd like to let our audience know that the President General of Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, Chief Ajeniyi Ajewole, did not come alone. Accompanying him, we have Alhaji Oyebamiji, is the Vice President of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes. Vice President 1. And Comrade Sunday Abiodun, Vice President 2 of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes. I also have Alhaji Adetokunbo Ayobami, is the Secretary of the CCII. Secretary General of CCII.
And of course, not just them, we also have others here. The First Assistant Secretary General, Mogaji Kunle Shodende, is here with him. You're welcome. Thank you for joining him. Mr. Caleb Akonde, who is the Treasurer, is also here with the President General. And we have Alaja Folashade Olaiwola, Social Secretary, also here. We want to say thank you all for making our time to be here with Baba as it comes on.
No, please, when my program was being read, it got to a state that my secretary said, no. That was, it seemed we gave the person a program that has been already updated. They were talking of the Colada Sea enterprises that we successfully laid the foundation and the things of no, it has still been completed.
Wow.
And we are grateful to God that we have over 300 people training one thing or the other at the center.
Wow.
We have leather where people make shoes. We have caterers. We have fashion designing. About 8, we have computer class that has been going on there since about 6 months ago.
Yeah, you've been doing exceedingly well for your state and Ibadan, more importantly. Of course, that's all through the establishment or the construction of the palace under your watch. And we must recognize this and say kudos to you and your team for making this a reality, and His Excellency too, for giving you, that massive support to achieve that. But let me ask you, as we wind down the program, how do you unwind? After all the work, all the developmental strategies that you put in, how do you unwind on a daily basis?
Incidentally, I'm a Muslim. I'm a teetotaler. So what I do, we have meeting, I go sleep. I make sure by night you can't see me outside.
Wow.
That is where I.
So you don't visit your club regularly?
Despite the robust nightlife in Ibadan.
To be honest, I don't like going to clubs.
Really?
Yes, I swear. I don't like clubs.
Okay,
let me tell you, I'm a lawyer. There's one thing about me. I always, because you don't know, it's a personal life thing.
Okay.
It's a personal life thing.
All right. We want to say...
We call the following day. But you must read as a lawyer all the time.
Okay.
Or else you have a dead brain.
So that's how you unwind?
That is it.
Right. Before we let Chief go, our time is fast spent, but very briefly, what is the main hurdle now in the way of the creation of Ibadan State?
Thank you very much. I am very sure by the special grace of God, and I have said it in many places, if this government created only one state, it will be Ibadan State. This is the reason. When we presented our memo, we presented one at the Senate and one at the House of Representatives. We went to defend it at the House of Rep. They sat at Lagos. Senate side, we defended, and they now invited us to Abuja. By the time they saw our position, one, the reason for the creation, then what we have that will make the state viable, all of them agree. The only obstacle is that we pray to God to touch the mind of our leaders to create Ibadan State. And even the Oluba himself, that was, he told the president, Tinubu, openly, that the only request he wants from Tinubu is the creation of Ibadan State. And he asked the people, do you want Ibadan State? Everybody said yes. So by the special grace of God, because this thing will be done by human being, we pray that God will touch their mind, create Ibadan State for us. Let us turn this place to a Singapore.
Okay.
We have what it takes.
All right.
Human and material resources.
All right. We want to say a very big thank you to, of course, Chief Ajeniyi Ajewole, who is a legal luminary and the President General of Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, CCII. And of course, for those on his entourage, his executive, we want to thank you for making our time to be here with him, of course, on this month's episode of Guest of the Month. Thank you very much for joining us and for coming.
I'm so grateful for allowing me this opportunity to speak with people.
Thank you very much.
I pray that BCOS will continue to grow from. You remember, we started with TSOS. We thank the founder, Baba Bolaide, that the legacy is correct, and I'm sure it will grow higher by God's grace.
Amen.
It's been a very interesting time with Chief, and personally, I have a lot of questions, I have a lot of things I wanted to know about Ibadan, and you have shed light on so many of those things. I actually love Ibadan, like I said, and I was born here. I've lived almost all my life here. All right, we have to go on the Guest of the Month for the month of November, and we will be back next month with another eminent Nigerian. We will be engaging on topical issues. My name is Tola Teriba.
Thanking you very much for joining us this month. See you next month. I am Jadesola Ajibola.